I swag it back. Where the hell you been? Niggas talking real reckless stuff. I'm about to call the paparazzi on myself. Yeah, man. Welcome back to another edition of Music Monday from the podcast Nurture the Mind. I am your host, Cole Poots, and today I'm going to listen to two separate tracks from two separate artists, and I think I'm going to split it up into two separate videos to consume, two separate music reactions. Guys, I am so excited. I'm not normally this excited to do a music reaction, but bro, things are hype right now. Falling in Reverse, Ronnie Radke, slowly over time, really, thanks to this channel, when I started really diving into their music back in 2021, that summer, I have become such an avid fan, a big supporter of Ronnie. I just love pretty much everything they put out, everything that they do. I've been saying for the last 3 years, like, they are just an amazing collective unit, and then especially having Ronnie at the forefront, their music never fails to amaze me. I feel like they're only climbing up. I feel like they're only going to go to the top. It seems like every single time that they release new music, they're getting better than like what their sound was before. It's like every single just sounds a little bit better. Every single just has more energy to it. So yeah, dude, we're finally getting an album from Falling in Reverse, because the last time we got an album, right, it was 2017, Coming Home. I wasn't listening to them at that point in time. And it's interesting, so we look at the cover art and it looks like it's Ronnie Radke's mugshot when he was arrested, and I'm not sure if they're going to keep that as the official album cover, because sometimes artists and bands, like, they'll have an album cover before the album actually gets released, and then once it becomes like the actual release date, it's a whole different album cover, and they're calling this Popular Monster, and it's really interesting. So this album, at least on Apple Music right now, I don't know if in the future there's going to be a deluxe edition, there's only 11 songs, which is actually pretty short for an album. But a lot of these songs we've already heard. So they have Last Resort Reimagined is on there. That's the last track on the album. Zombified is on here. That was a big single. Watch the World Burn was a massive single last year. Voices in My Head, another big single. And then Popular Monster, a massive single that I think came out in 2019. So in reality here, we're only getting Prequel, All My Life, Ronald, Bad Guy, Trigger Warning, and No Fear. So we're getting 6 new songs out of the 11 that are going to be on the album. I'm not even going to complain, because all of those tracks that I just mentioned are fucking bangers and sound fucking phenomenal. So I can only imagine what the other songs on this album are going to sound like that we haven't heard yet. But today, we're going to listen to Ronald. That is a single that literally like just came out, a few days ago, not that long ago. It's Falling in Reverse. It has Tech 9, and I don't know who Alex Terrible is, but Tech 9 is also a great fucking artist, a great fucking rapper. A dude I've been listening to since, I don't know, I think I was like a freshman, or I was probably a sophomore, somewhere in that age back in high school when I started listening to Tech 9. So, dude, I'm thrilled. I am fucking thrilled to have a new album from this band, and then today, listening to Ronald, and we got Tech 9 on there. Like, it's gonna be crazy. I'm so excited. So, let's just stop talking. Let's get into it. Let's have a lot of fun, guys. Also, to celebrate the occasion, First Form, you guys know I'm a legionnaire for First Form. They just came out with this new energy drink called Berry Dream, and I have not tried it yet. I bought a whole case off their store online, and it came in yesterday, so I'm trying my first flavor, especially for this reaction, bro. I'm so fucking hyped. That's some good shit, bro. Tastes like some type of soda that I can't think of right now. All right, guys, let's get into the reaction. Here we go. Ronald, Falling in Reverse, Tech 9, Alex Terrible. New album dropping July 26th, and it's called Popular Monster. Here we go. What the fuck, bro? You just started off. Give me a second. Dude, okay, hold on. I gotta try it one more time. Jesus! It's so heavy! Right off the bat! I'm assuming that's Alex Terrible. This is fucking sick! How? The voice is so deep. Oh. Let's go, Tech! Now we're switching over to rap flows. So the devil's right here with his little white tear. When rebels made up the heavy metal white fear. Yes! Go! Spiraling out of control and deeper down the rabbit hole. What is happening, dude? I feel like I died and I've come back to life. Can't even understand him. What the hell, bro? Oh, God. Oh my God, what did I just listen to? What did I just consume? I don't even know how to piece that together because it's 3 minutes and 17 seconds, and it, like, the moment that the track starts, it fucking levels you. It fucking just punches you in the face, and it's basically unrelentless the entire time. It was so hard to catch on to lyrics, so I might actually pull them up and try and dissect them a little bit. I don't know if I really want to do that on the first reaction because, of course, as you guys know, when you're doing a first reaction, you're just, oh my God, you're like overstimulated, especially with a song like that. You're just trying to catch anything that you can. It feels like Ronnie is, at least in this track, and we'll just have to anticipate. We'll have to see what happens on the rest of the album. This man, it seems like he is exercising some fucking demons. There is just so many ebbs and flows in that song, especially in the instrumental where it's like coming in and out, and you're just, again, I'm trying to absorb everything that's happening. I caught on to a little bit of the lyrics, but man, that was such a joyous ride that I'm trying to piece together and remember back to what he said. All I really remember is him saying, people are trying to come after me. People are trying to condemn me. People are trying to put me in the fire and crucify me and like let me burn. And then something like way early on that he said in the song was like, the world can be so cold sometimes, it's just really fucked up. It's time to cut the cord. I just really respect Ronnie for so many reasons that I've already talked about on the channel and on these videos and on these reactions. But I just feel like even outside of like all of the music stuff, like he's so talented as a musician, and he's also got, and all the guys in Falling Reverse just have such an amazing work ethic to continuously push the needle and get themselves out of their comfort zones to grow and to evolve in their music journey. Yeah, there's tremendous work ethic, but outside of all of the music stuff, I really appreciate Ronnie because I feel like he is somebody that is not shaken by the lies that are going on in the world, the lies that are going on in society. He's not part of the crowd that claims to be fucking woke, like the left side, that whole far left ideology, especially if you're living in America. The man is awake to what's going on. And it's so refreshing when you find people like him. In a lot of ways, I would consider Donald Trump in the same category. My mentor, that I look up to, Andy Frisella, people like Joe Rogan, people like Jordan Peterson, people that are speaking the truth despite all of the lies that get perpetuated in society. When you're a guy like Ronnie, or you're a guy like any of those guys that I just mentioned, what's a common denominator with them, at least in my mind, is, again, they speak up to the bullshit. And because there are so many lies that we are privy to believing in this country, or just in the world in general, because we are privy to believing those lies, they get perpetuated for a very long time. But because Ronnie and all of these other individuals are speaking out, because they're going against those lies, I feel like in a lot of ways that's why they get blowback. Certainly even on, my channel, or like when I have conversations in real life, with clients, with just regular people, and we have a conversation about these things, and I point out the hypocrisy and I point out the corruption that's going on. I think anytime you stand up for truth, you're going to get a bunch of fucking arrows. They talk about this shit in the Bible. Like, that's the exact same thing that happened to Jesus. And so I always tell people, and I always try to remind myself, like, I think you're on the right path when you're receiving heat. And Ronnie is a perfect example of that. The dude has literally gotten to a place where it just seems like he has the ultimate fuck you energy, and he doesn't care like what people think about him. Like, he knows who he is and he embraces who he is. And that's why people like him, people like Trump, people like Rogan, Andy Frisella, Jordan Peterson, like, they just keep growing. I make a comparison with Trump because everybody tries to crucify Trump too. That's what they're doing to him right now in the freaking legal system. They're trying to fuck him over for all of these petty, small, little, like, I wouldn't even consider them crimes. They're not something that he has to be prosecuted for. But because the opposing side, the left, the people that are in control right now, they don't want him to get into office because he's going to fuck up their entire shit. Like, because he's not a politician first. He's a businessman. That's why I compare him with Ronnie, because Ronnie is just constantly getting berated by people. But I respect the man because I've seen, like his videos on TikTok, and he's biting back at people, and like that is the type of energy that we need in this country and in this world, is people that are standing up for the right things, standing up for the truth, and not bowing down just because somebody tells them to. We've been doing that for way too long, and it's got us into this situation. So I know this is about the music, but this man and what he's doing, it's so important for culture because it applies to a much bigger context, right? Like, if people look at what he's doing with the confidence that he has and the way that he portrays himself and how he stands up for things, that's only going to influence people, quote unquote below. I'm not saying that his fans are below him, but that we don't have the fame, we don't have the notoriety, we don't have the platform that he does. But we see him do that, we see these other people do that. It gives us the belief in ourselves that we could do the same thing too. And that's where change occurs. People always think that it's going to be this one person that's going to come in and is going to save us all, like a Ronnie Radke or a Donald Trump. It's not one person. I mean, these people are super valuable to society, but not one person is going to change everything. It has to be a collective unit of all of us unifying, because when you really think about it, we the people, like, we have the power to change society and culture, one person at a time, because one person influences the next person, influences the next person. That's exactly how it works. So we have to protect this man at all costs. We have to protect all those people that I talked about at all costs. I know it's about the music. I know it's a music reaction, but I'm just saying, like, this, I feel like this album carries so much importance. Like, I don't know why. I mean, maybe I'm just like super biased because I'm a big fan of Ronnie and Falling in Reverse and everything that they do. But like, I think what this man is doing right now and what he's standing up for, like, I think it's crucial, and I think it's worth acknowledging and paying attention to, because like I said, for him to do things like that, it's only going to give other people more confidence to do the same thing. So anyways, I kind of went on a rant right there, like I always do. I don't know, man. I can't get all of the lyrics because, in part, screaming, and they're spitting so fast. Tech Nine came in there, did his thing. I would have never pegged these two to work together, but now it makes a ton of sense, because like Tech Nine in the past has worked with Corey Taylor, and then there was that song that Falling in Reverse did, I think, that was released back in 2018, and then in that music video you get this surprise visit of Corey Taylor. So okay, maybe it makes sense. But Tech Nine, even though he's known for rapping and hip hop and like that's his genre, that's his world, if you really dig into Tech Nine, like, he's got big influences from this type of music, from metal. I mean, he's literally admitted to, like, when he was younger and coming up, one of his biggest influences was Slipknot. Slipknot, I live in Iowa. Slipknot is from Iowa. Tech Nine from Kansas City. So, in the same region in the Midwest. And then pretty sure, at least Ronnie Radke, he's more so from the West Coast, right? I think he's from like Vegas or something like that. No, man, just a really cool mashup. It's the first reaction, so I don't think I'm going to go too far into the lyrics. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? Why don't I actually just... I won't go too deep into it, but like, I just want to see like some of the things that they said, because maybe that'll give me more context about the message. Okay, here we go. We got the lyrics. So, from Ronnie Radke, verse 1. Once upon a time, everything was all right. I used to feel safe, not a worry in sight. Then I grew up, quickly realized the world is a fucked up place sometimes. Death is at your door, reaching in from the other side. It's time to cut the cord. Hanging on like a parasite. Hanging on like a parasite. Says that again. Interesting line. So all of us can relate to that. When you're a kid, you're obviously in a very infantile state of mind, a very naive state of mind. Hopefully you got good parents. Hopefully you're raised in a decent situation where you're not fearing for your life all of the time. I mean, we had issues at home growing up, a little bit of a dysfunctional family, which who doesn't go through that from time to time with their own family? So you have that going on as a kid, but then as you get older, right? As you get older, as you age, then you start to see the world for how it, really is, and how precious life is, and how things can be taken from you at any moment in time. So Ronnie just acknowledging that, just a part of growing up, just a part of getting older. I think for all of us, we come to that realization at some point in time. The pre-chorus, don't hesitate, you're hanging on for your life. Don't hesitate, you're reaching out from the light. Walking on a razor's edge, my blood runs black. I'm not your friend. He says, my blood runs black. Remember the reference? I don't know if this is a direct reference, could have many different references, but Ronnie was one of the first people that I can remember that I've seen, in my circle of influence that went and got the blacked out tattoos for basically his entire body, which I've heard for people that have done that, because now MGK, most recently has done that. It could be some type of spiritual influence in one's life, or I think MGK did it for this reason. I'm not sure if Ronnie did it for the same reason, but because both of those guys were heavily tatted before, it could, at least I think in MGK's case, he was not happy of the previous life that he was living, the decisions that he made, the person that he was. And so to cover it up and go to the blackout was to basically put all of that shit in the past. Not sure if Ronnie did that for the same reason. You guys could fill me in for that. Chorus, pull from the depths of the 36 chambers. Pull the trigger. Give a bullet to a stranger. Nice. Pull from the depths of the 36 chambers. Pull the trigger. Give a bullet to a stranger. Post-chorus. I don't want to die, but I'm not going to live. In a place so cold, in a world like this, crucify me. It's blasphemy. Throw me in the fire. Let me burn for eternity. I'll never be the one that will ever back down. He doesn't back down. He's proven that time and time again. Verse 2, Ronnie Radke and Tech 9. Deep into the trench of a place unknown lies a dead man clutched to the bottom of a throne. At the bottom of a hole that nobody wants to go, it's the devil that that's got a hold up on your wicked soul. What is up in your mind? Are you thinking the devil is making the crime? Or the people are evil and never no demon design, or the opposite of a divine? No, yes, the hell is in front of you, side and behind. I can feel every sign of human decline. I'm believing this time upon us when all of our people are blind. Red rain, saw it fallen from a tower's dead plane. Headbanged Mandalay Bay Hotel. Lot of lead came. Sex change could get you caught up in a death range. He pled sane, but really imitating Ed Gain. Wait, hold on, what? Sex change could get you caught up in a death range. The first line continues on the extended metaphor of the doomsday, like hell, by implying that by being trans, people are on the side of death and Satan. This could be trying to imply that trans people are part of the reason the world is such a fucked up place. Ed Gain was a serial killer with many characters based off him that have been harmful to the trans community, such as Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lamb. Interesting lines. So if I'm interpreting this right, Tech 9, Ronnie Radke, putting up commentary of how fucked up the world is, how there's people that are literally infected. It's like they have this parasite of the mind. It's like what the times that we're living through right now and the times that predate our existence and just human history in general, evolution, whatever the fuck you believe in. It's always kind of been this way where, you know, previous generations, civilizations always commented on things of this nature. And that's basically what Ronnie and Tech9 are saying, is that's what we're fighting through. That's what's going on. And, you know, I would have to agree with that line. The sex change could get you caught up in a death range. I mean, I don't have an actual problem with trans people as long as they come to that conclusion when they're the appropriate age and if they don't push it on to other people. Now, those two things that I said, there's a lot of contradictory situations that say the opposite. So right now in the world, in America especially, they're pushing the whole trans movement onto young kids, trying to get them confused. They're already confused because they're kids. They're just starting to figure out the world, make sense of the world. And now you push sexuality in there and say to people like, hey, you know, I'm a young boy, but today I kind of feel like a girl. So maybe I should go cut my penis off. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. So it is pushed onto kids. And then what was the other thing I said? Come to that conclusion on their own. Don't push it onto other people. Oh, well, I mean, it's being forced. It's being forced into acceptance right now. But not enough people talk about the fact that there are also detransitioners, and there's a lot of them. So this is people that ended up getting whatever the surgery was to become that was a girl to become a boy or a boy to become a girl, and they very much regret detransitioners. Yeah, so these detransitioners, they go off and they get the surgery, you know, and then years later they come back and they're like, yeah, that was the wrong thing to do. I very much regret my decision. And I would say, honestly, for pretty much that entire population of people, a lot of them, I think, are just, they're mentally not well. I mean, you can't refute logic. You can't refute reason. You can't refute reality. There are two sexes. There's a boy, there's a man, there's a male, and there's a female. Again, I don't have anything against trans people as long as they do it in a respectful manner. They're not trying to push it onto other people. They're not trying to corrupt the youth. Like, if you do it that way, I'm totally fine with that. But I don't think that that's what's going on. And I think it really is gripping people. I mean, it's become like just such an infectious thing of the mind. And that's exactly what they're saying right there. So just to wrap this whole thing up, because it's a lot longer than it needs to be, that was an amazing song, man. That is such a good way to start off the kick and the hype for a new album. So guys, that was it. That was Ronald by Falling in Reverse, Popular Monster, the album coming out in July. You know, we're going to cover it on this channel. Let me know what your thoughts and your opinions are on this track. And let's have ourselves a discussion. Before we leave, as I always say, if you're new to the channel, even if you're pre-existing, there's 4 things that I ask that you do. You don't have to do all 4, but please do one of the 4. So number 1 would be you can like the video. Number 2, you can subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. Number 3, you can share the message. You can do that via social media. You can talk to somebody about it. You can have a conversation about what you watched over here. And then 4th, comment in the comment section below. Let's start some dialogue. I love talking to you guys. Love hearing from you guys. I mean, it's always a joy. I mean, I would not be here today if it wasn't for you guys and just, you know, the continuous growth on the channel. And last thing that I always mention before I leave too is being a first form Legionnaire, drinking this beautiful energy drink. If you guys are interested in any of their products, you can go to my link and you can get some of their supplements. I mean, they literally have everything. They have protein bars, They have things for hair, they have things for eyes, they have things for nails. Like all of the essential nutrients that you need, you can find any of those products on their website. So go check those out if you guys are interested. Purchase it through one of my links and get to going. So thank you guys so much. I will see you on the next video, the next reaction. Take care. Bye-bye.